This video will be made for my Christopher 2000 channel and my Christopher 2000 telephone channel I have. There's going to be a video explaining what railways you can commonly find and not commonly find on the railways much anymore, and one I have seen and some you'll still find in use. I'll first start with the stainless steel ones and I'll work my way on to these, but this one was not made as a railway phone, but these were used on the railway. I'll show this one first actually. This is a PMG model 802, but no, it says Telecom because these ones, well, they were PMG. But I'm going to show a picture I took, what was taken for me on my camera. This I was not in the signal box because I was not inside this signal box at the time, but the signaller at Sandringham took this for me. There's exactly the same phone there, PMG model phone or a Telecom model in the signal box, still in use at Sandringham. These phones are still in use on the railway. Not anything went touch tone in the late 90s. The Sandringham still retain their telephone and still use it today. Next one I move on to is a UK made telephone that were imported and used here by the railway company here. I think there's a couple of phones I've seen at Ericsson's and some I've seen to be GEC's. I think Mackenzie and Holland must have teamed up with GEC over in England, and Ericsson have phones made especially for the railways and brought over. This is a phone what was made. This phone I'm going to pick up and show. That's repaired now. I don't know it was meant. This one is 741 wall phone made by a private company, not the GPO one. If it's still, yeah, it's still got the mark on the back. And the number's rubbed off, but it was a Tele model, and it was made by the GEC telephone company. This one hangs on the wall. There's a video someone made showing Flynn Street in the 90s, where it showed a phone similar to this in use with no dial. Non-dial versions and dial versions were used on the Victorian Railway system. There's an example of this was in use I've seen a picture of one. I won't show that because it'll be shown as copyright on YouTube otherwise, but there's proof New South Wales used the dial version of these in use. This actually came out of a railway station, this one, but I'm not sure where, but the seller lists as came out of a railway station, but I didn't listen out of the same, but I know it definitely came out of a railway station, because that's the only reason why this would be over here in Australia for. Thanks to Andy's Shed channel. He helped me restore this phone. He sent the bits over to restore. He sent the dial bezel over and the black line cord while I used on another phone. Because I sent him some bits to help with his phone repair, and I sent him some bits, and he sent me some bits to restore. When I got this, someone had installed a PMG dial in here. Was the wrong dial for this telephone. And because my friend Andy had the same problem, he got like a PMG 403. Phone had a dial installed, was the wrong type of dial, and I sent him the dial, a PMG dial from this phone. Well, I took out this phone, was the wrong dial given to him, who was the dial for this PMG phone, and I put a dial 21, what's the correct dial for spares, and he sent me the dial bezel and a line cord. I didn't use the line cord this time, I got a second use for it because I got that phone there. Well, my mum decorated for my mum actually, so I put the dial label on their custom one. Next one I'll show, these phones are still in use. Make note, make sure when you get these, you get some good information, you ask some seller information where you got this one, because these phones are in use and these could be being nicked up on the railways. So there has been theft on the railways, but this is definitely not nicked because I got this off a person I know got this on the railway level crossing removals. And now that was definitely true. These sometimes have 5p railway cylinders in. If you get one with a 5p cylinder, you'll be stuffed. You'll be stuck drilling out the cylinder for weeks, or if you don't have a 5p key, you'd be drilling it out. But lucky for me, if I read on one of these ones with a 5p cylinder, I do have a 5p railway key for these type of phones. Note, I only use them on my stuff, not the railway one. Actually, it's upside down, actually. Screws behind, but that's the way they mount on the wall. They've been replacing the old ones with new ones. So this is a made by a company. I can't remember the company fan, but it's a Digital 6 series. That's the manufacturer code. It's made in Australia. These don't have dials, but let me explain. These tick ones without dials, you don't know about them, don't have auto dialers. They went straight through to a switchboard. But you can get switch ones that have auto dialers in them. If you open an auto dial system, they do not connect to your phone, it'll have the signal box exchange number on there, and it'll call into the service to lift the hands. This one didn't have that. It was just a straight server connect to the phone. It'll just work. But you can see incoming calls, but you can't. It has a standard. What looks like a Western Electric handset, but it's not. It's not branded Western Electric or anything. Note: I do have a Western Electric handset receiver mic there because the original one was knackered, so I put a Western Electric spare Western Electric mic I got. There's the Western Electric one. Because they're the same handset as Western Electrics, I just chucked it in there because the original electronic one went bad. It wouldn't work. I tested, call my friend in the first with my one switch I found over there. He couldn't hear me on the other end, so I changed the mic over and it worked perfectly. Next phone I'll go to is a standard phone, what you see a lot of on the railways. Matt, who runs the Matt K183 channel, and Victor and Rail Heritage, and I think I showed STY Transport, one of these in use on the railways. Recently me and Victor and Rail Heritage saw one of these in Flinders, had a look inside, got some pictures of inside. We asked the metro driver to open up and get a picture inside the inside here, with behind the door here where the phone handset was. This one is made by the Ericsson Plessey company and over in the UK. There's the Ericsson number. There was different models. This one's the N1241A1, was a rotary dial version. Now, I will display this. Rotary models were mainly used on the New South Wales, Sydney, South Australia, Queensland railway system, and central battery versions were mainly used in the Victorian railway area, like in Flinders. Like I've seen a lot of them have central battery. But in some regional settings, they would have dials and call through the telephone as signal boxes. I have been told that, but I don't know if that ever happened. But I know dial ones were used on the Victor in Queensland, New South Wales, Sydney and all that, and South Australia, where it had big Strata PBXs. So hopefully I'll press the button on the side there and pull the door. Maybe. Inside this phone, it came with original Plessey dial label, but I made a custom like Victorian Railway logo, what size of a dial label put inside this phone. I also made a custom number card. I actually made this up, and it has my mum's mobile number there, and my number side. My number was actually, I just called it Master Cinema Control, I just called that for a laugh. But it calls my mobile numbers, but I got that covered up so you can't actually see it. But the Mac K183 knows my mum's mobile I share with her now, because my my mobile phone got broken. I got it repaired. This phone fully functions. It's got a Concord blue handset. It's Concord blue. It looks green, but it's actually Concord. It looks a little blue Concord. It looks greenish on this, but it's Concord blue. I've replaced the transmit with electronic type to get more transmit power, because I do have this connected mostly all the time in the lounge room over where the big aerials are over there, as you can see. I'm going to check something and come back quickly, so I'll be back in a short moment. I'll leave the camera, maybe about 2 seconds to check something quickly. Yeah, I was up here. I thought about my aerial for a minute, but I just realised it wasn't bent, so I checked over there, the big aerial I had over there. But there's the custom Victorian Railway logo I made as a dial label. Now, this has a dial 21. A lot of telephone probably think a metal finger on a dial 20 is the wrong thing, but for these armoured phones, that's how they made it so they couldn't get broken in the field. Because the vandal could break these. I've seen a lot of them being vandalised. There's one in some of I've vandalised recently, where a vandal came along and must have done, I won't do it hard, must have gone like that very hard and smashed the handset caps. And also banged the top of them, broke the handset caps for a good laugh. It's not a good idea, because when these phones are in use, you can't get parts for them easy anymore. You have them overseas in England. So it's not clever to break these phones with V-Line and Metro, because they can't get replacement parts easily for these. I know we can get them off of eBay, but they take long to get off here. But this has a Plessey symbol on here. I did show Victorian Rail Heritage, and I think I showed STY Trains where to get the cover off these, do the maintenance and electro. I will not show that on camera. I mentioned it to Matt K183, but I will not mention on camera. But there is some hidden screws I'm not going to mention on camera. There's the button, but I won't let it come in because there's a screw above that thing I won't mention. There's 2 screws I won't mention where both of them are, because I don't want to, because there's a lot of these phones that are being used today. it wouldn't be smart to mention where the screws are, because in case vandals get a screwdriver, like a flat blade, and takes the piece, I will not mention where the screws are. And those screws have nothing to do with undoing this phone. But that's the cool button just restarts. So if you don't recommend like dialing and you go onto the one box, just press it down and say so called the one box, just push down the button, and at least it will reset the line. Someone on the railways did a mistake with this phone, made a bracket where it went on where the screw was. We actually pressed down on that button, disabling the bell. So I took that off to make the bell ring. These telephones are quite old. A quick disclaimer with these. If you ever get one that has no dial, just be careful it hasn't got an auto dialer, like a pulse auto dialer, because... Whoops. The camera. Did about the camera though. This phones, if they have auto dialers, just be very careful to the phone, because it has an auto dialer. They normally send a tone on the handset if you pick up handset. If you pick up the handset and hear beeping or touch tone tones or like a pulse signal, hang up the phone quick and disconnect it. Because these sometimes did have auto dialers where you pick the handset and go straight through to the box, or some with dials go straight to a PBX or switchboard. But this one has a dial, so I'm not worried about it. This one does actually work. You use these as landlines. I'll close it up. When I got it, I had to take these hinges off to fix the thing. To get the hinges off, you need a big flat blade screwdriver. I'm not mentioning what size, they take a while to get these things off. This is mounted on the wooden ball, but the screws actually, to get these on the wall, you have to take the phone case off the whole phone apart into the screws. That's what these good are, so you know I can nick them. But like I said, I won't mention, but if anyone gets one of these and I know how to get into it, just send me a private message through YouTube and I'll arrange to meet up and show you how to take these apart. So I will not show it on YouTube for reasons in case vandals see it, because there's a lot of these type Ericsson phones on the Victorian railway system around like Flinders Street. Some of course they still have a few, and a few other locations. One at Sunbury, what no one knows about, but I've seen it when I've been passing on the V-Line train, so I'm going towards Geelong, and I won't mention where I saw it, but there's one that's behind the signal box. I won't mention where exactly, but I've seen it when I'm on the V-Line trains. The bells are behind these. These phones are pretty loud when they ring. They're meant to be loud, so if you have a train nearby and you need to wait at the phone for the signaler to call you back, these are pretty loud. And I think I'll show you a few pictures I took of those type phones in use on the rail. I'll close this picture down. That's one at Southern Cross Station. I showed STY trains, but I think Matt came on for also. There's not someone had to vandalise this one. Now I'm off my Facebook, posted to it on a telephone I'm part of. I'll change that password if I showed the password by mistake on there. There's one I showed the picture of at Flinders. I showed Matt K183 this one and STY Train Spotter. Now I think I showed Victorian Rail Hedges also, I'm pretty sure. There's the box. These ones also had another location of Flinders. That's why I'm not mentioning how to take these phones to pieces, because vandals will probably vandalising inside and go cut the cables inside and disable the phone. It's not a good idea, because I've been told by Metro Driver these are used as backup systems to the radio satellite phone. So if the radio fails, you can call up the signal line and tell them you're running into the yard because you've got no radio working in the train, or you need to call them up to get a signal set. But I'm going to end this video now because I've done it for quite long. But these are my railway telephone collection and some other phones we're using. I do have one more item, but I couldn't find it. I do have a bell that goes on the wall in a railway signal box, so I can't find. But I will show you a quick picture of it online. I won't show it for long due to copyright reasons. I will not show it for long. Just got to find it. I'm trying to zoom in one hand, it's not freaking easy. So I'm trying to zoom this in. Now, I won't show this for long, but I got a bell similar to that somewhere, what was used in the gold symbol. I've seen a lot of them, I'm not joking, a whole lot I've seen. But I've seen one in Glen Hunt, this up in the Metro work let me in there to see the box. There's one in Southern I've noticed. There was two at Lead in the old Leaddale station, I believe are still there actually, but the station box has been close to the updation. Where have I seen another one? I know I've seen another one somewhere. Where have I seen the other one? Oh yeah, one of the Soundran boxes, as soon as I took a picture of that one to show me on my camera. I've seen a fourth one, but I can't remember exactly, but I've seen a fourth one. No, fifth one actually, but they're made in this big, it's been quite one. But these are most of my railway telephones.